I don't want to launch myself. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Okay. So we have Mr. Hicks here, and Mr. Hicks, which case are you on? Is it the out-of-county one for James Sowell?
Yes, excuse me. Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. He's still in Travis County. I have been in email contact with his Travis County attorney, trying to find somebody or make contact with anybody with the Travis County jail system has proven to be a Herculean task, which I have not been able to overcome. They have some sort of pretrial diversion worked out up in Travis County, but he's still in jail. Judge, the plan is once he's done, he is going to move to Florida. I don't know if you want, I can contact his attorney to make sure that once he's done with Travis County that he comes to my office, and if you have a docket that day or maybe the next day, we can put him on that docket right then and there rather than having to go through a bench warrant process. I know he had made bond on this case at one point, and then when he was when you found out he was in Travis County, I think the bond was upped, if I recall right. I don't recall the particulars.
Well, let me do this. Sheriff Hernandez connected me with one of her subordinates in the sheriff's department. Let me find her real fast. I'm trying to remember her name. Well, let me look in my email for Sally Hernandez, and then I should be able to connect with the other individual, maybe. Yes. Okay, so Nelda Pena. Do you have a pen, Mr. Hicks?
Your Honor, I'll just open up a document here where I can save it. Nelda, I'm sorry, what was
her name is Nelda Pineda. She goes by Sally, but she's a major. I'll just do this. I'm going to forward this email from Nelda Pineda or Pena to you and Ms. Lopez and Mr. Schlatowski. And then if you would ask, well, no, that's not fair to you. It's not your job to schedule your own hearings. It's our job. Okay, so let me do this. Hold on. And okay, and this is James. So 193946 CR 3 in Kings County. Oh wait, no, no, I better just say James Sowell. All right, Mr. Hicks, off the top of your head or in front of you, do you have a case number out of Travis County?
Regarding the Travis County case number, no, Your Honor. I think there are 5 different ones.
It's okay. I'll just leave his name, and I'm gonna email Major Pineda, and then I'm copying you and Mr. Weatherford, Mr. Schlatowski, and Ms. Lopez, and asking if we could put the defendant on our Zoom for next Friday. Is the word that he was going to be done in Travis County by then?
No, Your Honor. On the Travis County website, I think he has, his next hearing is May 8th, but that is subject to change if they could, once they sign this pretrial diversion agreement. There's an issue that his attorney was telling me about restitution that they were contesting, and I don't believe that's been worked out yet. It's like $8,000 in restitution. But if you can send that, if I can have a Zoom hearing, I will email those documents, the plea agreement documents up to Travis County so that we can review them and sign. If they can return them to me, then we should be ready to go.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm sending that email now. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay.
I received it.
All right. So as soon as we get word from them, maybe they'll coordinate with us now to get him on our Zoom docket for next Friday. But thank you for trying, Mr. Hicks, and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Y'all have a good weekend.
You too. All right. And then let's see here. Do we have, is that Marla Russell in Comal County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I'll call case number PREF 20123703. Ms. Russell, I received notice today from the state that they are declining to prosecute you on this misdemeanor. Am I right, Mr. Weatherford? I have the right defendant?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Russell, I'm not sure if you're being held on other charges in Comal, but the Hayes County case is not going to be affecting you from this point forward.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, Comal, for appearing, and I appreciate y'all's time and patience. I hope y'all have a good day and a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right. And then Hayes County, who do we have here? Deputy Smith, is that Jason Harrison or David Scott?
This one is Jason Harrison.
Okay. So I'll call case number 190555 Sierra 3. This is State versus Jason Harrison. This is a driving while licensed and valid case. I see no attorney on file for this defendant. Mr. Harrison, how long have you been in Hayes County Jail?
9 days.
Okay. Isn't it just on this charge, this driving while licensed and valid?
I believe so.
Do you have an address to go home to?
Yes.
What's the address?
181 Lee Lane.
Say 181 Lee Lane. And what's the city?
Wimberley.
All right. And what is a good working phone number for you?
512-552-4996.
Is that a cell phone? Okay. Do you have an email address?
No.
Okay. Who is close to you that has had their cell phone the longest?
I don't understand the question.
Do you have a sister or a brother or a mother or a child who has had a cell phone for a long period of time? Okay. All right, very well. State, given that this is a driving while licensed and valid case, do y'all object to a PR bond?
I would only object based on a failure to appear from April of 2019.
Okay. And is it on the same case?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Harrison, if I release you on a PR bond, are you going to make sure that you come to court and not a bond forfeit?
Yes,
Promise?
promise this time.
All right. You have an obligation to contact the court if your address or phone changes. So
Okay.
the moment that happens, you've got to call us. You understand? All right. All right. Okay, I have signed the PR bond. Mr. Harrison, this should be processed today.
Okay,
All right. And you will get notice of your court date at that Wimberley address. If you don't receive some sort of notice of your court date, you got to call us too, okay? All right. Have a good day, Mr. Harrison. Good luck.
Have a seat right there. Your Honor, this is David Scott.
All right. So I'll call case number 194568003. This is State versus David Scott. Mr. Scott was on our jail docket last week as well, and he wanted to proceed pro se. And the question was the state going to be able to connect with him in terms of discovery on his case and to negotiate with him? What progress, if any, was made on that?
Your Honor, are you asking the state?
Yes, please.
Judge, I don't believe we've received communication from the defendant in any way. What I would propose, this is obviously a unique situation. We're prepared to make an offer on this case if he would like to review discovery. If he's requesting discovery, then we're going to have to figure out a way to get creative on providing or giving him the ability to review discovery. I don't know if the court would entertain standby counsel in this situation. I know that would probably be the easiest way to facilitate it. But I'm happy to make an offer on the record to the court in this case. And if the defendant wants to review discovery and then make a decision, I of course have no objection to that. If he wants to proceed forward, then, you know, if the court thinks that's appropriate, we'll do that as well and provide plea paperwork to the individual. That's kind of where we're at. We're willing to work with the court on whatever way we can and respect the fact that he obviously has the ability to represent himself in this case.
Okay. Last time, if I recall correctly, Mr. Scott was pretty emphatic about not wanting an attorney. And if you could, Mr. Rutherford, go ahead and make the offer. Mr. Scott, can you hear us? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Rutherford.
The offer on this case, Your Honor, would be for time served. There would be no fine. It's a Class B misdemeanor, so it's up to a $2,000 fine.
So we're getting an alarm right now ordering us to leave the building. So I think I have to, unless the bailiffs tell me I shouldn't.
That was great.
Y'all getting that too? Okay.
We're gonna watch when they come back.
What? I hope it's a drill. I'm gonna get my purse. I'm not leaving that here. All right, we'll be back, hopefully.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Kelly.
Are y'all, is it really just like are you in the building?
Yeah, I'm in the building. I'll holler at you, Kelly. We'll have to get out of here.
I'm just was going to tell her where my guy was. I don't have anything. Get out. Go be safe. I'll see you later.
All right, Kelly.
See ya.
Sean and Emily, y'all can step off if you want or stay on. It's up to y'all, whatever y'all want to do. All right.
Okay, I will probably just black out. Emily, I'm just gonna black out my screen. So.
Attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators.
Oh, they did.
Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, an emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators.
And David's over there. All right, she's probably stirring some up.
Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators. Attention, attention. An emergency has been reported in this building. Please cease operations.
Oh, good. They finally turned the noise off. At least the song stopped. I don't have to listen to it anymore.
What? He had music playing?
No, it was a,
Reported in this building. Please cease operations and leave the building utilizing the nearest exit or fire exit stairway. Do not use elevators. Repeat, do not use elevators.
I'm assuming.
Sorry, got overtime for Wednesday. I'll see you later.
have a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
And so
I'm
Monday,
gonna try to do
Tuesday,
this. Can you move it on there?
yeah.
I'll do it.
Well, are you gonna stop in here?
Yeah, I don't really care.
I'll do your rush report, so if I have a
You don't
chance.
have to. Are you gonna be here Monday? What do you do?
Take a wild guess.
Do you care if you do?
Office girl here.
Is that a female that's in town?
No, it's not. No, it's like, I don't, you can probably look across the rest of the next months, several months, purple's right across. So I don't even have to look at that, I already know what I got. It's like, whatever. If I have a chance, I'll put it together for you. I said if I have a chance. I didn't say I'm gonna have a chance.
Actually.
Huh? Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, because I just went,
Oh, I don't, whenever you go.
I just go, I
There's
just went the other
10.
day.
That's for past and future.
Okay.
Right?
That's 6, but I could. Hey, your father-in-law could have sucked that one down too.
Well, he didn't drink it after it. He started to spoil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was about a quarter of that. It's possible, Fred.
There's a suspicious factor.
No, Jordan?
Well, he got to do that. I feel like. The other thing I didn't tell you to think about, family dollars when you leave the GC, they know that our cars, you know, they're gonna send somebody out if they want.
They usually go back and just.
There was a car that failed us for a minute. Did you notice that? Yeah. I was like, and I saw some shit.
Should do a Kirchner video. Should I stop them from taking a picture of your license plate then?
Which one? It happens all the time.
I usually drive back a different way, or something like that. I'll take and drive around the place.
Who started, he said, he made a comment about they're called a circuit. And I was like, belly chain and shackle. What are you gonna do, spit on me? That's all you can do.
I don't post, like, after seeing all the stuff that, you know, in the courtroom from his last one, it's like. We don't
We
trust
saw
him.
that today. I don't know.
The last,
He sucker punched the shit out of that first video we watched.
I don't trust him at all. And then he was asking, he said, yeah, he wants me taking, I was like,
What happened was.
I knew that he knew that he was going.
Yeah, it's
Of course, I
crazy.
knew
He tried to
there's
scream at him.
family things out there, so that's why I'm gonna make sure he knows, you know, because they could be anywhere, they've been there before, they know the place, they know the routine. Or, because he would tell them, you know, he could tell them the routine, this is where we.
It changed the call a couple days in advance. Like, hey, by the way, you know, I'm going forth this day.
Yeah, but he was talking to me about it yesterday. And so, but
They're
if you,
supposed to
but
shut
you,
off his phone whenever we're going around.
yeah, but if you ever hear information like that, you know, I made sure he knew all that, you know, so that. You know,
Yeah, that's
he
something
can,
to think about.
he can do whatever he needs, so I always take different routes. I'll always go the back roads, and I take the back roads, or I go through town, or there's different routes you can take there. And so.
But if someone's gonna go down, they're gonna wait for us in the parking lot, watch us go around.
You never know.
Bro, I'm telling you, I have a feeling we're gonna have one of these cartel things. That's what I feel like it's coming at some point.
The changing of the routine doesn't work. Have a good weekend.
You're gonna wait.
So 8 hours, just like.
Yeah, no, for fun. But I knew I was taking this stuff and, figured we'd go over it a lot. So we go have to take all that training out of pocket. If it goes, well, actually, maybe. Because I wrote on this. Yeah, I think this one.
Hello?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay, bye.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, so what was it?
I just heard they thought it was a mechanical issue in the mechanical room.
Oh, okay.
So
Back out there, no telling what happened, huh?
everybody, I was thinking maybe a microwave blew up or something, but yeah, everybody is coming back in now. So hopefully we can restart in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. I just happened to see you there and I thought I'd find out what happened. All we can hear is the sounds.
Yes, oh my God. Can't miss that sound.
Yeah, it was pretty noisy. I bet it was loud there, huh?
It was loud, yes.
Alrighty, well, I'll watch for everybody to come in.
Well, I mean, that wasn't too bad. Everybody's still here. Okay. So deputy at the jail, can you hear me?
I are back already. Just a moment ago, nobody was there.
We had a bit of a alarm here, so we vacated. Can we have Mr. Scott back? Is that possible? And while we're waiting on Mr. Scott, Mr. Maldonado, are you here on Karen Reed? Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, here's Mr. Scott. We'll get to yours right after this. Okay, Mr. Scott, I'll call your case number again. It is 194568 CR3, State versus David Scott. And Mr. Weatherford from the state was just conveying the state's offer.
Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to do that again, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. And the offer on the case is going to be time served. It'll be however many jails or days in jail rather he has, and then credit for all of those days. There will be no fine assessed, and court costs will be owed, but of course the court has the discretion to waive those. So that's the state's offer on the case, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Scott, they're offering you time served. You can choose to take it or not. It's completely up to you. What would you like to do?
I would like to take it.
All right. So jail, how do we get paperwork to y'all so that he can sign off?
If you can scan it, the same place where you scan the schedule to, was it jail schedule, I believe is what it is.
Yes, ma'am. I can do that.
I can have him sign and get his thumbprint and all those stuff, and then I'll fax it back to you, or not fax, I'll scan it back to you, and then we bring the hard copies over there.
Okay. Are we going to be able to do that today? Do you think we can organize that?
As soon as you get it to me, I will get it signed back to you and go over to the courthouse.
Okay, Mr. Rutherford, you want to go forward with that?
Yes, ma'am. Of course. Yeah. If you don't mind, Judge, just give us a little bit of time. We'll do it as quickly as possible and submit it over there with the prosecutor. Will go ahead and sign the plea paperwork. And then, of course, Mr. Scott is not required to sign it or anything like that. But we will send it over with just his signatures that will need to be signed off on.
Okay. And if you could put an X next to every place he needs to sign. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get it back to you just as quickly as we can. All right.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. All right, Mr. Scott, we'll get that to you. And then, Joe, can we get Karen Reed now?
Can I ask a question real quick? Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
The veteran court, is there any way I can like link up with those people like outside?
You mean to receive services without pleading under the veterans program?
Do they have like a veteran thing here?
There is a veterans court program, but it would not mean that you could take a deal today for time served. It would involve a different track.
There's like a veteran place here that I could like connect with. Yeah, okay.
The chaplain might be able to assist.
The
in
chaplain?
Place, yeah. So
Okay.
let me just get with her on that, okay?
Okay, thanks. All right, bye.
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, if I may, if Mr. Scott, I was going to speak about Mr. Scott's case really quickly, if he could still. be
Mr.
present.
Scott, still there? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Rutherford.
Your Honor, the only other thing, it doesn't appear that we have a written waiver of right to counsel, and I would just ask if the court wouldn't mind, maybe email. I don't have a copy of that y'all have. If it's easier for Kyla to email me, I can email it over to the jail or whatever's easiest for y'all. But if you wouldn't mind, Judge, I would ask that he go ahead and sign that before we proceed on the plea.
So I don't have staff here, but Mr. Morales is gonna give. You will? Okay, great. If you could, please. Thank you, sir. So Mr. Morales is going to arrange for that form to be sent to the jail now.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'll be
All
looking for it.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's right there.
All right, Ms. Emily Patton, I know what Mr. Maldonado's here on. What are you here on?
Your Honor, I'm from the District Attorney's Office. I'm just here to observe today.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you then. Then proceed observing. All right, Mr. Maldonado. Okay, so we've got case number 201385 CR3 State versus Karen Reed. And she has some pre-filed cases as well. This is PREF 211243 CR3 and PREF 211244 CR1. And we have Mr. Matt Maldonado for the defense. And who do we have for the state?
Sean Schlichtowski for the state, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm sorry? My screen says it's still on YouTube. You can't tell? Okay. Well, mine says it is. No, you're fine. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so what are we doing on Ms. Reed's case?
Your Honor, Sean and I have talked a little bit about this one. We're just waiting to see what the DA's office is going to do with those two pre-filed cases, and then we'll be able to move forward on it.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Judge, that's correct. They're still in the pre-file status. They're currently not in attorney manager just yet, so I don't believe a file has been created, but because the defendant is in jail, those are processed faster. So as soon as those are on my desk, I'll be looking at them, and I'll be getting with Mr. Maldonado on that as well because of the previous case that's already been filed.
Okay, so I'll make a note to reset it to next Friday's jail docket unless you guys want me to do it 2 weeks out, but I'd prefer it next Friday.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so we'll move this one to next Friday, and Ms. Reed is excused. I think that is all I have. I feel like I have a whole lot of people here on Zoom. What we're still waiting for is David Scott. Okay, so Mr. Maldonado, you're excused. Thank you, sir, for appearing, and
Good weekend.
you too, thank you. And then on Mr. Scott, I'm assuming that paperwork's going to take at least 15 to 20 minutes to go back and forth, maybe a little longer. So is there any objection to taking a recess for at least half an hour, let's say until 1:15?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mr. Morales. Okay, great. All right, well then we will be back here at 1:15. Thank you, guys. We'll go dark here.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I smell food too. Smells good. It's probably Gina's zucchini pasta. Mr. Weatherford, before we get started on Mr. Scott's case, once the jail gets him back, on the Marla Russell case that y'all have declined,
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
send that information over to Comal County so they know that she's not to be held on that one?
I know that my legal assistant sent it to wherever they normally send it. I don't know exactly where it's usually sent, but if Comel needs it, I can certainly send it over there myself. I don't mind that at all. Do you have an email address by chance, Your Honor, that I could?
I don't know if it requires your signature, good, but
It does not.
then you could, not one, and also copy stamp.
Okay. Okay. I know that Miss Stoddard has the contact information for Kamal since she set up the Zoom. So if you could send it, I mean, at least to her, and she can forward it on, and then also copy Sandra Lopez.
Yes, ma'am. On the actual declination?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Not a problem. And Your Honor, Mrs. Patton, I asked her to come to observe. She's our magistrate attorney, and then she's going to become part of our misdemeanor division full time. So
Okay.
this was a good opportunity for her to come and observe and everything. So I appreciate you letting her log on and watch.
I don't mediate that. Whoever asked to be let into my Zoom, I let in. And if I let someone in who gets disruptive, I'll remove them, but it hasn't been an issue yet. So Miss Patton's behaving herself. So I guess you don't need to ask me for that. I don't know.
Right. Thank goodness. Judge, do you know if I guess the jail hasn't sent back paperwork to y'all or anything, just so you're aware. Is that the one that I signed to on the admonishments, Your Honor?
Is that your signature? Did you understand?
Yes,
that?
ma'am. On the 2718 form, that's mine. Is it on the admonishments as well?
Let's see.
Hey, Jeffrey, can you hear me? This is jail. I just sent back that second one you needed to have to re-sign. We just now sent it back.
Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Thank you. That was my mistake. I appreciate y'all's patience.
Oh, that's fine. So everything's good? We got it all back? Because I'm going to be carrying them over to you in just a few. We're good?
I think we're printing out the second round of paperwork, but we should be good once it's printed, is my understanding.
Okay. And I'm going to bring the cop or the originals back over to you is what I'll be doing. Okay. Because you're going to need those, right? Yes.
You're
I
speaking
believe
to Judge.
so.
Correct. Yeah.
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. I'll have those over to you shortly.
Okay. And Ms. Jessup's grabbing some equipment, and then she'll be right back. And then once we have the defendant and her back, we'll get started. Uh-oh, did we lose the jail?
I think we did. It's been an event.
They hung in there so long.
They hung in through the alarm, right? And
They did.
Yeah.
Miss Spivey, and you're welcome to stay as well, but I don't think that we have anything after this case, and he's not going to bond out, and he's not taking probation. So if you want to head off, you're welcome to.
Judge, do you have anything else set this afternoon?
No, I think this is it for us. And we were talking about how it feels so late after the excitement and the adrenaline rush and having to run out of the building. You just start to get tired. It feels like 5 o'clock.
I know, I agree. I agree, Your Honor. That's what I was thinking too.
I don't think we have anything else set on the docket.
Oh, I don't think we do for criminal. I didn't know if you might have some
Oh.
whatever fun civil stuff that y'all do over there. I never know. Prove ups or whatever it's called.
Y'all are always welcome to come watch our probate hearings, Mr.
I'm telling you, Rebecca's gonna live in there. She loves it. When's the judge gonna let me do more or do? She's gonna come and practice probate prove ups and all that. Is it there? There's a script. I mean, I'm assuming there's some script somewhere that because it all sounds the same when they're like they say the same stuff. Da, da, da.
The statute's very clear on what has to be proven up, and so yeah, it sounds the same because the statute's clear. It's not as loosey-goosey and plastic as criminal stuff can be.
Right. I try to make it as little loosey-goosey as possible, or as less. I don't even know how I would say that, but anyway. Not
How many
much.
times have you used the phrase loosey-goosey?
I know, right, yeah. I'm gonna start trying to use that at least once every docket, so that'll be a good thing. I also see the YouTube's going. That's exciting. I can I tell my mom like how would she find that channel? I know she would die to be able to see it on the screen.
The only way I've been able to find it is through the Texas Judicial Administration. What is it? The Office of Court Administration. So if you go to the Office of Court Administration, there is a YouTube directory for all the courts.
Oh, okay.
And I think we got a notice from someone's family member, and I don't know who it was, that they were going to watch. And so I made sure that I actually put it on this time, which I hadn't. I kept forgetting in the past.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see what I can find and I'll send it over. Because I know she, like I said, she would be very excited to see that.
Well, Judge, it's when you click on the little YouTube thing, it says copy streaming link. I don't know if like that is actually the link that you would have to go to YouTube for, but it says there's two options. There's view stream on YouTube and then copy streaming link. So
that sounds like something for you young people. I have no idea.
That's Sean's job over here. He does all the technology stuff.
I try.
Well, one day you'll get to the point where you're asking the young people for help. And then
I'm afraid of that day. But kids nowadays are like now building computers at the age of 6, and it baffles me. So that day's I think already here.
So, Mr. Morales, I hate making you go back and forth, but we lost the jail and they haven't come back on. Do you think you can ask them? Yeah. I think so. I believe so.
And Judge, just to confirm, if you do copy that link, it will take you to the YouTube page. We're right on there.
Okay, good.
So just for future reference.
Okay.
Your Honor, just to confirm so that once the jail gets on, we can move forward with it. Do you have 3 separate, there should be admonishments, a judgment, and then the 2718 form?
I have the joint request for plea. I have the waiver of right to counsel. I have the court's written admonishments. And I have the judgment, which is 2 pages. Is that
Perfect.
right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
They're gonna get back on board.
Okay, great.
About 5 minutes or so before they get them off of this holding.
Okay,
But they'll be back shortly.
thank you, Mr. Morales. Go.
He'll be here in just a moment. I apologize.
Don't apologize. We appreciate you. You've been patient today with us too.
Okay, so ready, you ready for him? She's waiting for you. The judge, she's got talking somewhere. So have a seat right back here in front of her.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. So before we get started, Mr. Scott, remember that kind of lean forward and talk as loud as and slow as you can so that our court reporter can get down everything. All right, I'll call case number 194568 CR3. This is State versus David Scott. And Mr. Scott, you have a right to appear physically in court on your case and to have the state appear physically in court on your case. Because of the pandemic, we've been doing Zoom conferences, and I have a request from you to go forward today by video conference. Did you read this document?
Yeah. Yeah, I did read that.
And did you understand it? And do you want to go forward by Zoom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir. All right, I'm going to approve your request, and I'm signing and dating that now. Now, the next form I have here on your case is your waiver of your right to counsel. And we talked about this the last time you appeared, and I basically tried to appoint an attorney for you, and you wanted to proceed by yourself. Did you read this waiver of right to counsel, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and do you want to go forward pro se today without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, the next document I have is the court's written admonishments. You're charged with the offense of theft of property. This is a Class B misdemeanor that carries with it a maximum possible jail sentence of up to 180 days and or a possible maximum fine of up to $2,000. Do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a variety of constitutional rights in place to protect you on this case. You have the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself. You have the right to be presumed innocent of this charge, and you are presumed innocent of this charge. You have the right to go to a jury trial, and at that jury trial, you would have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf and force them to appear by subpoena, and you'd have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses. At that trial, a jury of your peers would decide whether or not the state had produced enough evidence to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I have the court's written admonishments. Did you read this document?
Yeah, we read it.
Okay, did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. To the offense of theft of property, how do you plead?
Not guilty. Oh, no contest. I'm sorry. No contest.
All right. And state is the plea offer for 21 days in jail, credit for 26 days, and the court costs would be covered by the additional time in jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Scott, I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to find you guilty of this offense, and I'm going to follow the plea agreement that you have with the state. because I'm going to follow the plea agreement that you have with the state, you have no right to appeal. Do you understand that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm turning to the judgment now, and it reflects the agreement. And I'm signing and dating. All right. All right. State, is there anything further on this case?
Your Honor, the only thing I would ask to add is that in compliance with 3914J, I just want to put on the record that the defendant waived any right to review discovery, chose to enter into his plea today without reviewing that discovery. We did review the file for any possible 3914H material, and we found none that would necessitate disclosure. So I just wanted to make sure and put that on the record. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Scott, is there anything further on this case from you?
I read about you in the paper.
Oh, that's not great. And this is not the place. All right, Mr. Scott. So you're excused and good luck to you. State, that's our last case on the docket. So y'all are excused as well. I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too, Judge.